All right, let's get moving on this. Today, we are going to be talking about why you can go from somebody who is absolutely athletic, on top of your game, somebody who is strong and just always on the go, gets lots of stuff done during your day at home, and um, you're just always been that really strong, energetic person. And then why in the heck through the years on the job when you have been working out and taking care of yourself, doing everything that you can do that's always worked for you, why are you ending up where you're not motivated to get into workouts? Where you end up just sitting on the couch and not wanting to even engage with your spouse or your kids. And you're just totally not the person that your mind knows you can be, but your body just will not allow you to do those things anymore. Quite often, we're told that with the job, you're just supposed to be tired. And with the job, you're supposed to feel, exhausted after doing a 12-hour shift. And you are. But it's supposed to be more of the exhausted that you felt at the beginning of your career. But things start to change when you're when you're pushing your body so much. So I'll give you the quick and dirty of the science behind it is where your body, every time that it releases every time that there's a stress, your body releases adrenaline. It's your energy, your stress hormones, cortisol. And with these energy and stress hormones that it emits, your body does not know the difference between rushing to a priority 911 call, rushing to a call and it's cleared, between a financial stress, between the guilt of just being on shift, knowing that you're missing out on a milestone with your child who's at home, or you're not able to help your spouse at home. All of these things, your body does not know the difference between. And so, every single stress, regardless of how small it is, how big it is, you're even pushing these stress hormones through your body every time you have caffeine. So, if you have coffee, energy drinks, all of these things, what's happening is those are all pushing this cortisol and adrenaline through your body. So, as soon as your shift starts, you're putting on a uniform, that adrenaline is being pushed out, that cortisol is being pushed out through your body for 12 hours, 15 overtime, all of your shift. And then the thing though is that because you're not on a priority to call all the time, you're not on a foot pursuit, you're not needing to be using all of that cortisol and energy for putting out a fire. You don't need any of it during a lot of these other stressors. And so your brain is sitting there and saying, "Hey, we have to keep cleaning this up. We keep cleaning up this cortisol." Every time that you even push in a workout, you're pushing that cortisol and stress hormone into your body. And for your workout, quite often you're using it, but you're not using it in so many other things that you are doing where you have a stress and you're emitting them. So your brain says, okay, we need to turn down this cortisol. We're definitely sending out too much because we're cleaning up way too much of this cortisol. And what happens is your natural cortisol, your natural release of energy is decreased. And with that goes the motivation and the drive. So you may find I'll have people to say, but it doesn't make sense because I'm totally on a call. But it's when I'm at home that I can't even get off the couch. And the thing is that your body is you're giving more signals of needing more cortisol and more of these stress hormones when you are on a call. So your body is giving you some, but when the call is over, then it just turns it back down again. So you go through that stage where everything is high, and then that's the overdrive where you have all these hormones pumping in you. So you may have felt where you went through this overdrive state where you were really hyper vigilant on things, where you were on top of things. And then it eventually moved to being more tired and more motivated as you're less motivated as your body was turning down these hormones. So you're going from overdrive into burnout. But when you're in that transition, you still are on during calls, but it gets to the point where you can't even turn everything on in a call, where you can't be as hyper vigilant, where you can't be on completely during that call because your body's can't even pump out enough of the cortisol and energy stress hormones that you need in order to stay alert, to be in that tunnel vision, to be able to be focused on that crisis call. So you go through those three stages, and as you're in that second stage leading more into the burnout and then an absolute full burnout, that's where you just can't get off the couch. It's where your motivation is just it's gone. As much as your mind though, and this is the thing where you know that it's burnout too, is your mind wants to do these things. You want to get back to that feeling that you used to get when you kicked butt in your workouts. You want to get back to that feeling of being accomplished when you finished your to-do list, when you were very productive on your days off and you got things done, and you want to be like that mentally, but physically your body just can't do it. It's one of those things where as much willpower and as much strength as you feel that you can muster, your body just can't do it. So it's kind of like a constant battle between your brain and your mind as well, or your brain and your body, because your brain just keeps shutting it down. And anytime that you're giving yourself that coffee, that energy drink, that caffeine hit, you're actually pushing that cortisol and adrenaline up again, which gives you that little bit of relief. But as soon as it wears off, your body actually turns down the cortisol that your body is releasing even more because it sits there and your brain says again, hey, I thought I turned this down. But obviously, we're still needing to clean more of this up because when you drink the coffee, you've got it floating in you, but you're really just sitting there not doing anything with that cortisol. So your body has to clean it up again. So it lowers it. So having those coffees to help you actually puts you more further into burnout. So you may notice that you feel good during, but you actually have worse of a lull once that coffee has worn off. And it starts this vicious cycle that you don't have control over. So I don't want you to beat yourself up. It's not your fault that um, that you need another energy drink, that you need another coffee, that you pretty much need an IV drip of caffeine to get through your shift. It's not your fault. There's different things that need to go into place first in order to get that cortisol stabilized and get it going. So the first thing we do is we kind of give it like a boost to that motivation and drive, like you would boost a car where the battery isn't dead, but it needs a boost to start the car and run it. So we get you to that point where you can boost up that energy and actually run your body so that then once the car is running, that's where you can start assessing and figuring out, okay, what is the cause of this? What are the things that are sending me my cortisol out that I can start controlling? And that's where you start going into that second stage where you start controlling those things. So in a car, you'd be fixing the alternator or the spark plugs or whatever it is. Here, we're fixing the stressors that you actually can control. So we get the cortisol hormone stabilized first, and then we start fixing the root of the problem. And once you start fixing the root of that problem, then you start finding that your body does start working long term. If you didn't start assessing the root of the problem and you just get those hormones realigned, same thing as a car battery. The problem's not fixed, the battery just keeps dying again on you. So your energy just keeps going low and low. So you need to go through those two stages. And for everybody, it's different. There are different triggers that everybody has. There's a certain order to go through things, and it's a little bit different per person. So, really understanding what your triggers are, where everything is, getting it all stabilized so that you specifically can get back to kicking butt in your workouts, to being energetic, helping around the house, wanting to be engaged with your kids and your spouse, and getting you back to the person that you used to be. It's not age. I'm going to tell you, I'm 46 and I feel better in my 40s than I did in my 30s when I was totally in burnout. My 30s were tough. I pushed through every single day. And it's not an age thing. It is absolutely not. The things that I can do and the way that I can push my body now is totally different than I did in my 30s because I got my hormones all balanced, got them all sorted, and I figured out all of my specific stress triggers, which are different for yours. You have the shift work. You have to be able to figure out how to train your body when to sleep and when to wake up on any shift schedule when they're all varied. You need to be able to know how to support your body on overtime. You need to be able to learn how to support it on 12-hour shifts, how to support it differently on your days off. There's so many different factors and things that you guys need to take into account and to learn, and so many things that you have absolute control of in your lifestyle. The thing is that most people don't get it. You really do have to live it. I mean, you guys, how many people do you know that do live a Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, less stress lifestyle that understand your life? They say they get it, but they truly don't understand. I mean, our family members try as much as they can, but they'll never ever truly understand what your life is like, what the stress that you hold for 12, 15, 24, 48, some 48 hours for some of you guys. Um, they don't know at all what that's like. They don't know what it feels like. They don't know how it is, and they don't know how to adapt and change and work that in. So these things are very, very specific for you and your job. And most people don't know how to teach them. So really making sure that you find somebody that does understand this, that can go through those two stages where they get those hormones balanced, and then making sure that they do dig into everything with your stress hormones. So you can definitely look around and see if you can find anybody around you. I'm always available to help. This is exactly what it is that I do. So if you have questions, post them in the comments. I'm here to help. Definitely tell me in the comments how long it's been since you have been in that burnout phase, because that will also help us determine, how quickly we can really get you out of it and what's going on. So let me know. I can totally help you if you would like. Ask me questions. I am always here to answer. So send me a private message if you want. Everything is always just between us, and we will get you back to that athletic, energetic person that totally thrives in the job. All right. Take care.